Hey everyone, back again. This is Mixed Media Madness! Woohoo! So here I am just using some black acrylic paint that's from Riot, our art shop. You can get any type of acrylic paint to work. And I'm just using a loyalty card, an old one. And just going across and up and down, adding, just not thinning it out too much, but I'll say adding some texture. There's some, you know how when you scrape it down it builds some little levels in between? Moving the paper to how I want it. There's no really right or wrong way to do it. You're just smudging the paint on, having some fun. I was going to say getting dirty, but I'm not getting dirty yet. But I certainly do. So here I am. I didn't wait for the black to dry because I'm just going to flick this paint on. So I don't need to wait for it to dry. So I'm just experimenting with a few different ways. So if you want to do this, just see if you want a certain way over a different one. So this one's just a thick brush and I'm just using the paint as it is out of the Dilutions paint container and just flickering it on, swirling the brush around above it, getting some different ways. So looking a bit awkward to me, but it was fun. Doesn't matter. So some dabs, some lines, some lots and lots of texture because it was nice and thick. So certainly didn't want it any thinner than that. It was really nice splodges and lines and really 3D-ness. So I'm just putting some in the lid with some water there and I'm smushing it around just to blend the water in. You know, I don't know that I need to tell you that because it's pretty obvious what I'm doing. So this doesn't really work as well with the big brush. Just giving little dots. Gives it, like, nothing's wrong with it because it's great. It's working. So, but I try this spatula, palette knife. I've forgotten the word for it. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it's what I use to scrape the modelling paste to a stencil normally. So, whatever you call it. You're probably all yelling at my screen going, "This is what it is, Lauren!" I got out my thin brush, so that gives it some good lines. That was really good. So, flick it on, splodges and lines. All three techniques work, and it works all well together. So just getting it on there, having fun. And I didn't speed up this part of the process because I wondered if people wanted to see how to do this part. So even though it was just trial and error for me, but some people don't like to bother with that kind of stuff. And I had an idea how to do it before I started, so it's not like I was flying too blind. But here's my photo, so I'm just seeing how much paint I have around it, and actually I changed my photo and changed the way, like this is horizontal, and I'm changing it, just laying it around at the moment to get different splodges in a different area. And I do recommend cleaning your desk off before you do this kind of thing, even though the only casualty, and it wasn't even a bad one, was that I got a big red splodge just there on my double-sided tape on the top left-hand corner. Everything else wiped off. It was just on my desk, so I was kind of lucky. So got some paper here from the Kaisercraft collection. Can't read what that is at the moment, sorry. Ask if you need to know. And I was going to do it that way, as I'm showing you, but it doesn't look right with that photo that I've chosen. So this is my son. He'd caught a fish when we were in Brisbane earlier this year. So I've just got some fun foam behind it to see. Like, I want to obviously add some dimension that way. And using some stamps from Kaisercraft. So this is a cross, like a check cross, kind of. I'm sure it has a better name than that. But you can't really see, like, the red on the black. And you can't see the black on the black either. But you can see the shininess on the colour. So it adds a texture that way. And obviously I've stamped it where there's no black and red as well. So it adds to it. Very subtly at the end you can see where it is, but these are the kind of things when you're doing layers upon layers, the little things that add up to the big picture at the end. So see, you can't see it here being happening other than some shininess, but it looks really cool. So put that away, well, put it to the side. I didn't really put it away. Just got some chevron tissue paper here. It's really cool. That's just from my dollar shop. So ripped off the side, made it a bit straight with the ruler there, and I put in it there. I've got my fan on. It's a hot day the other day when I was filming this. So it's making my tissue paper fly a bit. And just cutting it, ripping it down to size, and I thought I might go across with it, but it's going to look a bit funny, so I ignore that thought. And I've got some gel medium here, so I don't 100% know what gel medium's for, but I'm just experimenting with it. I found it and went, oh, that'll be something fun. So I'm just using it here on this layout to like adhere the tissue paper to the layout, but it also makes it shiny rather than the matte, dull kind of tissue paper look. Another time I did use it through a modelling stencil, like modelling paste, and it's like translucent that way and dries, and then put some watercolour over the top, some gelato kind of watercolour, that kind of thing, and it looks really cool. So you just trial and error with these things, like just have some fun. You can always cover things up, and I had to cover something up at the end of this where the journaling was, but made it work. You can't tell unless I tell everyone. So using an Amy Tan stencil here and some just white modelling paste. I've added the white colour in now, so it's not just black and red. Give it some white as well, just to break up the colour, but also because really they're classic colours anyway, black, red and white, so it's awesome. So just up the top that way and down the bottom this way, because just some contrast and not everything looking the same. I just put my photo back on, as you can see, every now and then, just to get the placement right and make sure that, you know, I'm not just going to cover it all up. Like, I'm going to cover some of it, but I don't want to cover all of it. And my gel medium wasn't dry, so my stencil stuck. And even though I went over the sides, I just smooshed that bit of extra modelling paste, and it looked like it was part of the layout meant to happen. So, and don't forget, boys and girls, clean your stencil, whether it be with the water at the sink or a baby wipe like I've got here. So clean it off, clean your spatula or whatever it's called. Must remember, I'm going to have to look up when this voiceover's over and find out, because it's one of those things that's frustrating me. I'm like, it might be what it's called, but I'm just like doubting myself. Anyway, so I've just put a different colour red. This one's acrylic paint rather than the Dilutions paint. I'm using the loyalty card to make lines, like straight lines. I've seen Anna Cornish do this on one of her YouTube videos for Anna's Craft Cupboard, one of the shops here in Australia. It was an awesome YouTube video and a great idea. So, and then I'm just flicking the red on, because adding some of that different red texture, it is texture, but red shade to the layout as well. And look at those flicks. Maybe that's the technique. You do it with the loyalty card. So there, 4 different tools to get some flickers onto your paper. So I should be seeing lots around. Well, there's not that many people that watch my video, but come on guys, give it a try, spread the word. This could be the new fashion. So just putting in some washi. I got some red glitter washi that I glued down. It took forever, so I spared you the time. Just glued that black washi because it's not, the gel medium made it hard to stick to. So, but the tacky glue came to the rescue. And some black and white spotty, I believe it's spotty, is that what it is? I got out quite a few, as you can see to the left there, and then used 3. Anyway, so I start layering my photos because I think, the background's great, coming together really well. Just using this black cardstock to cover like 3/4 of the photo, and then the red to back it up as well. So using double-sided tape, and the black's going to go from the top, give it a frame from the top, and then go most of the way back down. And then the red's going to not go to the top. Sorry about my head. It's really hard to film without putting your head in the screen. Maybe one day, one video won't have my head in it. Let's see if that can happen. And using some of these papers here from the Kaiser Craft to layer it on out in the back. So using this one with the words just down a bit, and then I'm cutting it off the side just to make sure it's where I want. And I thought that scrap would look really good. But then I decided against using it as a layer and use this big bold black. Cutting down the words, because if I add another layer, it needs to be cut down a bit. So this one's going to go from the right hand side, not the full way over to the left. So that's basic layering there. That's, a few things here and there, and the washi's come off. So on it goes again, stick it down. So, and this strip here is something from my scraps, and I've just thought it would look really cool. So, and it does, look at that. well, I should probably be a bit more humble about my own layout, but I think it looked like it belonged there. So using my Helmers to stick it on, my Helmers glue, and then I've just used the fun foam and stuck on my layer, my photo, spared you that fun process. And I'm just going through my photo box of red ephemera, red and pink. And there's a frame, and I put it up, cut it and rip it in half, I did, really. Put it on the top left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner as an extra layer. Found these little fish, found the title My Hero, and all these little red stars. So add a different shade of red again, and some, oh look, a flare and a button I find as well. And they all make it on the layout. See, the background is so striking and bold. I don't really need too much embellishment, just something to draw your eye to it after you look at everything. You know, might be there for 10 minutes looking at it if you wanted to see everything, because there's so much on there. But, oh yes, some red and black cotton, because Missy Whitten is making this look cool. And it is cool, but she's not just making it look cool, it actually is really cool. So, putting it on, just layering it under there, I added lots of glue up the top so it stuck a little bit more, and my fingers are frustrating me by now because not everything's dry and I've just rushed ahead because I'm so excited to finish it. So put some cotton down here where the title's going to go as well. So there's a wood veneer up the top, it says favourite, of course in American spelling, how frustrating for us Aussies, but oh well. And here, oh yes, I'm just using some, why am I telling you? You can really see what I'm doing, but anyway, what else are you gonna, I've got to tell you something, don't I? So, using some black acrylic paint to go over the word, but also then I smudge it on the background to add a different type of, like I keep saying texture, but really that is what it is, isn't it? Different element. Maybe there's some better design words that I don't know, and I smudged a lot of red on the M there at the beginning of the title and had to smudge it off the paper. And that's the start of the terrible thing that I had to cover. So on go these, oh the button I'm putting on, I've already put the fish on, I was going to say that. And the flare just goes on top. So the button's underneath the layers of the photo. And just popping out and going around the stars with my black Sharpie. And adding some white to the title. Makes it blend in, but also it sticks out. I don't know if it looks like it doesn't stick out to you on the video, but in real life it's pretty bold. The whole layout's pretty bold anyway, but it's really cool. Just smudging some white around, but also on the edges of my layers of my paper and my photo, just making it blend in so that it's not sticking up from the background. It actually looks like it's part of the background. That makes sense. And the wood veneer, I'm just using the white paint on there as well to blend it in, because it was the only thing that was wood veneer, and so it was sticking out in the wrong way. And I'm just seeing if those cork clouds would suit it, but no, they don't. So I'm just using my Sharpie again here. I draw some lines and start to journal, and because my paint's not dry, my Sharpie is ruined. Lucky I have another one, but it's not a very smart thing to do. And then I used a thick texture. I thought that might work better, but then my writing looks so terrible that I just covered up some washi, a little square of black, and a label down the bottom. Looks better. It doesn't really look like I made a mistake when you do it like that, but you'll know because you partly seen it and I just told you. And I used a film strip ephemera that I cut in half and put it on each side. Whoa, the paper's not even the right way for this video, sorry. I thought I was finished, which is why I was just showing those close-ups really badly. Obviously, that was terrible videoing. But I thought, oh, I better add some enamel dots. They would be awesome. So on they go, some red, some black, some white, all around. I used all of them, like the whole 2 rows. I think the red only had 1 row, or maybe the black. Oh, I can't remember. But there's a lot of enamel dots on there. Probably more than 10 layouts used. But on it goes, and I'm finished. So you can see the stamping up close there when you're looking. So everything adds to it to make it a whole layout and blends in and whatnot. So just go with it. Have some fun with your mixed media. Anyway, I'll catch you all next time. Enjoy. See you, and thanks for watching. Bye.